Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, to the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds or Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's for the chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalio, and this video is about the prophecy of World War III. Alright, so here it is in the news from Newsweek.com. Iran issues a new war warning any moment. Now, automatically, when I say a headline like this, I think about the prophecies of Yahweh Shemishai. I think of World War III, which is a part of Bible prophecy. I think about Ezekiel 38, which talks about Russia going to war and having a great company, which are her allies, which includes Iran, right? I think of these things. And so in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14, it says, the second woe is past, talking about World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the third woe cometh quickly, which is World War III. All right. So things are going to be happening in the world that tensions will be built up among these nations to head towards World War III, to fight one against another, right? For this to occur in Revelation chapter 16 and verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, right? And Iran is a major player in World War III. Iran, in Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, which is talking about Russia, as they dwell in the land today that Gog and Magog once dwelt. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, talking about the Russians. And I'll turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So Russia's going to go to war, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So the great company is the alliance of Russia. It mentions, first of all, Persia, which today is known as Iran, right, as the first ally. And then when you take a look at world events, current events, and relations between the countries, you can see very clearly that Iran is an extremely close ally to Russia, perhaps Russia's number one ally, right? Then it mentions Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So those are the so-called African nations, or the Hamites, right? And you can take a look at Russia's overall allies by Googling the BRICS, BRICS. I believe it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Plus, there are many others that have joined. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. So this is talking about Turkey, all right, as now, you know, the same thing as the Gog and Magog situation. Turkey, those people, Turkish people, are in that land where Gomer and Togarmah once dwelt. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is a guard unto its allies. So knowing this prophecy, knowing the alliance between Russia and Iran, and knowing that Russia is a guard unto Iran, okay, when it is that certain things start to happen between Iran and America, or Iran and the state of Israel, right, there's always the thought in the back of my mind, you know, that things can escalate to the point where Russia has to jump to the defense of Iran. And, it appears that the state of Israel is the one that is doing a lot of the antagonizing, so to speak, you know. And Bible prophecy states that the least of the flock in Jeremiah, Jeremiah, the least of the flock. Jeremiah 50, verse 45, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon, which is a miracle, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So that least of the flock is talking about the state of Israel, and the state of Israel is going to be doing things where they're going to draw out America to go to war, and we know the result, they're going to lose. All right, so that's why Iran has been in this kind of spirit, okay? Because, they're constantly being harassed by the state of Israel, right? Just a few months ago, they were out there walking in their streets in grand fashion with this thing that looked like a missile of sorts, and they were talking about how they're ready to go to war. All right, Iran, that nation of people who are the biblical Elamites, they not playing, man. They ready to fight, and they feel emboldened because they're part of a strong alliance on the other side. You have America, the EU, and NATO, plus the state of Israel, which has been deemed an unofficial member of NATO, against Russia, Iran, and the rest of our allies. And also, Bible prophecy states that here Turkey, because Turkey is a part of NATO right now, Turkey will eventually side very clearly with Persia and Russia, on that side, okay? And you can see it because over the past months, Turkey has been speaking out against the state of Israel, all right? And once you speak out against them, you speak out against all of them on that side. So that relationship is deteriorating because of Bible prophecy. That's what's at the forefront of everything, okay? So Iran issues new war warning any moment. Iran warned on Monday that a new conflict with Israel could erupt at any moment, signaling a dramatic escalation in tensions months after a deadly 12-day confrontation in June. Yahya Rahim Safavi, senior military advisor to Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, emphasized the need for full preparedness, saying a new war with Israel could break out at any moment. We must be strong and prepared, according to Iranian media. Why it matters. Safavi's warning underscores the fragility of the ceasefire and the ongoing risk of renewed conflict. The June confrontation caused hundreds of deaths and thousands of injuries, with Israeli strikes hitting Iranian nuclear facilities and senior military command centers. Yeah, it's not going to stop, and it's going to escalate to the point of World War III eventually. There's no way to stop it because it is a part of Bible prophecy for the heathen to be riled up, and the Lord's going to put the Spirit on them to go to war. Yes, it says in Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and gather, and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. O Lord Yahweh, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. So Yahweh Shemishah is going to gather them together in the so-called Middle East, which is Western Asia. All these heathen men, and they're going to fight that war of Armageddon, okay? And Iran is a major player. They're going to be siding along with Russia and going to war. And they're ready, man. You can see the spirit upon them already. They're ready to fight. Okay. The United States, coordinating with the State of Israel, targeted 3 Iranian nuclear sites, while Iran retaliated with an attack on an American airbase that missile strikes against Israeli targets. The involvement of both nations highlights the conflict's international reach and implications for regional stability and U.S. operations. All right, so as you can see, man, because it's a rather long article, okay, but as you can see, the tensions are building, and it's all because of Bible prophecy, man. World War III, and Iran is a major player. And the scriptures talk about Iran, man. In 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 30, it says, "Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and they shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians." So the Carmanians here are talking about Iran. All right, let's do a quick Google search. Carmanian, because it's in Google. So firstly, it says a Carmanian is either an ancient inhabitant of Carmania, a region of modern-day Karman province in southeastern Iran. All right, so it's leading us to Iran. Ancient Carmanians were known for being warlike people who had cultural similarities to the Persians, who are the Iranians. All right, so let's see. There's a certain website that I'm looking for, and here it is: Encyclopedia Iranica, Carmania. Okay, so it says Carmania, region east of Fars province, approximately equivalent to modern Kerman, the old Persian form of Karmano rendered as Elamite. So it mentions the Persian and it says Elamite. All right, so we know that the Carmanians is talking about Iran, and Iran, they are the biblical Elamites. Okay, and forgive me, Salakia, I am a bit under the weather. Okay, and so we've really gotten the answer there out the gate. It tells us, it also says Carmania is also named the old Persian ethnic name Karmania. Carmanian is reflected in Elamite, referred to as a Persian clan. You see, so this is talking about Iran. So 2 Ezra 15 and verse 30, also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. So they're ready to go to war, man. And when you really take a look at Iran and how they're feeling about the current situation of geopolitical tensions and all of these things, they're ready to go. They're ready to fight. All right, but you know, with this kind of situation, we know as well, based off of Bible prophecy, the wars and rumors of wars that Yahushua spoke about, that we'd be experiencing. And we're literally in that time that Yahushua was talking about, the signs that we will see before his coming, right? You know, rumors of wars, nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So it's like a 2-for-1 special, because you know, we are going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. That's Bible prophecy. So we are going through that. But we also know that Bible prophecy states that World War III is going to come. So the rumors of wars that are happening are showing the, you know, the tensions escalating between these major players regarding the World War III prophecy. You see, because right now it's rumors of wars, but it's all the major players talking about going to battle, and eventually they are going to go to battle, and that's going to be World War III, fought out over there in Western Asia. All right, and then the climax, the end of World War III, will be when the missiles are shot towards America from America's enemies, and as well as our allies. NATO and the EU are going to turn against and shoot her with missiles. Okay, but before the missiles can be shot, the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a microchip, has to be fulfilled. All right, so just keep note of that when observing what's going on. The mark of the beast prophecy, man, which is that microchip. So this is just the current update regarding that war situation and more to come. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yeshua B'Shem Rakah Kodesh. Shalom.